So hey everybody, Jason McCumsey from Redbeard Rebuilding, coming to you again, obviously, from the shed. And my dog's barking at me. Anyway, I'm making this video specifically because I think my wording in the last video kind of took astray. And I want to kind of correct things, make sure we're all clear on and be a little more specific, I guess. First things. If I'm explaining or comparing javelins, it's all opinion. All right. If I say something about a flex or a meter rating or a tip type or what type of weight they use, type of paint they use, that sort of stuff is my opinion. And if I describe a javelin, if I describe their handles, or if I describe anything about them like I did last time, where I said that the 4 throws grips were soft. Now to me, they're soft. I don't like soft. If you like soft, go for it. Do what you need to do. Do you. I'm not telling you don't do that because they're soft. I'm not telling you to pick a hard grip because they're better. I'm telling you, I like it that way. I'm telling you, the people that come to me and ask me to re-grip their jabs like the cord I use. So, if you like a softer cord, go for it. Don't, just your job, okay, not your job. With the words that come out of my mouth is just to tell you how I feel and what I think. Go with what you need to do what is you, and throw far. I'm not going to stop you from throwing far just because I don't like that cord. If you like it, go for it, dude. Or dudette, lady, he, she, they, them. But I don't care. If it's you, go do it. I'm going to tell you what I think about a javelin, whether it flexes a lot or if it's really stiff. Or if it throws well for me, I'm going to say it. If it doesn't fly well for me, I'm going to say it. But that does not mean it's not good for you. It just means it's not good for me. That's why, if I remember correctly in that video, I said, go try out jabs. Pick up a jab that you've never thrown before, ask, and see if they'll let you throw it. Go take that opportunity to find the javelin you like. One of the reasons that this video is coming out is because I got a upset email about how I described a javelin. And it took me a minute to go through. I kind of got frustrated when I got that email, but I took some time and I read through it. I listened to my video over again, and I described, hold on, I don't know why my wife is talking to me when she's in the house. Anyway, I described the Space Master as a wet noodle. Now, thinking about that through, after I posted it, hindsight is 20/20. It did not fly like a wet noodle. It is not flexing like a wet noodle. Wet noodle is a bad description. In my head, I said wet noodle because wet noodle doesn't fly. That was the only purpose of the wet noodle comment, is that it doesn't fly for me, so it flew like a wet noodle. Or if it was a football term or a discus term, it flew like a duck. Because when you say it, it goes like that. That's why I described it that way. Now, after thinking about it, wet noodle was a horrible version to describe that, because if you're a javelin thrower and you like old movies, you think of a wet noodle and a javelin as Revenge of the Nerds. Because Lamar's javelin flew like it was a wet noodle. But they engineered Lamar's javelin for his limp-wristed throwing style, which is why it was like a wet noodle and it flew farther and won the event. So, again, wet noodle is a wrong term. And this individual took my words, calling it a wet noodle, that it was a crap jab, or it was a junk jab. And if I remember correctly, in my last video, I have yet to call a javelin junk or crap. I don't think anything that you are going to put in your hands that is available right now is junk or crap. It took engineering to build one of these things. Whether they're working off of current engineering, old engineering, trying to think up some new stuff, either way, it's all got to be engineered. It's all got to be machined. It's all got to be turned, welded, assembled, however you want to put that together. This all has to be put together in some way, shape, or form. Now, you can put it together with cheap stuff, but still have to use the engineering to put it all together. So, there's no crap equipment. There's just cheaper equipment, which is why it's sold cheaper. Which was the only way I can say that. So there is no crap out there. The individual went and listed all of the things that javelin has done, which it has done great things. So it is not a junk javelin in any way, shape, or form. Just didn't fly for me. That's all I was trying to say in that video. Now, the thing is, I don't know if I have it handy. Hold on. Let me see. I think it's still in here. Hold on. Excuse my knees. Where is it? It's still in the bag. Is it this one? Yes. This one. Hold on. Now this is not the best comparison to make, because these are two very different javelin, made out of both completely different materials, completely different companies, but in the end, for me, had the same result. It didn't fly well. Now for me, I know, for this javelin in my hand that you cannot see yet, I know why this javelin didn't fly for me. I don't know why the Space Master didn't fly for me, but I know why this one didn't fly for me. This sucker is full carbon and countervail. Countervail, there it is. This javelin is meant for somebody with a big old arm, a whole lot of power, that can make it flex. I can't. So I know why this javelin threw like crap for me. I cannot tell you why the javelin, the Space Master didn't. You are going to find javelins that don't fly for you. If I have another one back here, hold on. Nope, that's not the right one. There it is. Oh, it's down below everything. Hold on. I got a stack on it. Oops. That one's upside down. It doesn't have a tip on it. That's good. You go that way. Let's not knock anything over. Alright. Now, I can tell you right now, this javelin doesn't fly for me. This javelin, for lack of better terms, is cheap. I do not like it. By any means necessary, I do not like this javelin. It might fly for you. The people that sent it to me asked me to turn it into from a rubber tip to a pointed one, because they like this javelin and it flies great for them. So they asked me to work on it. I put a new grip, new head, new tip. There's a new head. I'm not sure if I replaced the whole head or if I replaced the tip on this one off the top. Just thinking about it real quick. I do not remember. Either way. Excuse me. I don't like the way they build this jab. I know I made a post about it a while ago that the head that this had on it previously, like I said, was a rubber tip. you could take that rubber tip and go like that, and then it was just a flat end like it is on all the other ones. Now, I don't think I have it handy. I was prepared for this video, I promise. That one doesn't have it either. Okay. I don't have it handy. I apologize. If I compare it to this one. This is obviously one that we beat the crap out of because we were experimenting. Use this end. Say this was the tip of the javelin on this individual one right here. All they did was they just cut it. They put a washer in it, just sat it here, and stuck the rubber tip on. And you could just go and do that. That was it. When they do this right, other companies, now everybody has a different design, but there's some sort of mushroom going this way, so that way it locks in when the rubber tip goes on, or the Nordic is that way, or at least they were, where they had the little mushroom that comes over and their head locks in because of the design inside the rubber tip. Gill, if they're still using the same one that I know of, theirs is capped off and has a machined indent around here, so theirs locks on. So same process, same ending, different process. They didn't do it on this jav. This jav is also telling me that it's rated 80 meters. My opinion, this jav is not rated 80 meters. If I can, I'm like, the way I was wiggling things and moving things, that is not an 80 meter jab. So, stay. Sorry. So, I think I came across with everything I wanted to come across with. I'm not coming on here to bash, diss, lay a diss track. I'm not coming on here to diss anybody at all. The engineering that went into that jab I just said was cheap. Still had to go into it. I think they lack engineering on how they do their rubber tips. So that's why I don't like it. I also don't believe that their flex ratings are right. It's just the way it is. If I would base that javelin off of the Namath 80 meter that I have sitting back here, or a Nordic 80 meter, Planet 80 meter, I have a 90 meter here that I have to redo for Planet. If I would base it off of those jabs, that one, the rating is wrong. Again, pure opinion, but if I would make some sort of measurement to measure the flex of it, that sucker would, the wet noodle thing keeps on coming back into my brain, that one would fly like it would. You know, it would flex so much more than what these other ones would. So when I say something's cheap, they lack hummingbird. Yeah, sorry, squirrel moment for watching the hummingbirds. I found out that they don't hummingbirds and dragonflies do not like each other. So if you're trying to attract hummingbirds, make sure you don't have dragonflies. Other little tidbit of life information. Anyway, when I say something's cheap, it basically means they're lacking engineering in some way, shape, or form. Whether it's how they assemble it, the materials that they use. In my opinion, if it's, you know, like I said, I'm just throwing my opinions out there. I'm not trying to dish or bash anybody. If you want a cheap jav, go get a cheap jav. That's not going to hurt anything. It's not going to hurt anybody. If you're, when I'm making these videos, I'm trying to make it, I am Joe Schmo, the javelin rebuilder. I am nobody special. I am not a 200 plus javelin thrower. I'll be honest with you, I've never reached 200 feet. It's just the way it is. I've never hit it. I wanted to do it after, you know, but it's just life never got there. I've never hit 200 feet. There you go. But then again, I'm making these videos for people like me, the regular everyday Joe javelin thrower. So that's where my opinion's coming from. Jane or Joe, these videos are coming for you. I am pretty sure I just saw a monarch butterfly and a hummingbird have a head-on collision. I am sorry. I just watched that on beyond the phone. It was just like weird. Anyway, so like I said, I'm making videos for John and Jane Doe, or however you want to call yourselves. If somebody wanted my rating on that Namath 80 meter back there, now I've thrown it. Now I've never thrown it 200 feet, but I've thrown it. That sucker flies beautifully for me. I would never spend the $1,200 that I think it might cost because I'm Joe Schmo. I'm not getting paid to do any of this. I'm not getting paid to make these videos. Four Throws gave me those jabs. I told them what I was going to do, and they understood. You know, it's just the way it is. I can't really say that any other way. I'm not here to throw mountains of facts at you. You know, I'm not going to look up information on these jabs other than what the build sheets tell me, because everybody's different. Everybody throws differently. For lack of better terms, this den fee, you can take that den fee and throw it farther than I ever could. It works for you. It works for that kid. Or multiple kids. I'm not sure if that's an individual or a team. But like I said, if it works for you, and you can throw it, and you throw your PR with it, stick with it. If you like the Planic style grips on the Planics, where they use the outer wrap with an inner cord, kind of like a paracord idea. If you like that wrap, find somebody that can get that wrap and do it. And rewrap your jab. Stick to it. I'm not going to do it. I mean, if you send me the cord, I'll do it. But I'm not going to go buy a particular, that cording, because it costs way too much money and there's not a lot of people asking for it. That's just the way life is. Life, everybody wants, I can't say everybody wants, but everybody has given me props and good reviews and good news about the cord I use. I had guys at Jab Fest bring me the brand new Four Throws jab they bought that afternoon or morning and said, here, put a grip on this so I can throw it. They wanted to throw it today. They didn't like the soft cord. I can't say anything else to that. I'm never going to come on here say something is junk. I can say I don't agree with it. I can say that it's missing this or missing that. Could have done this, could have done that. It's just the facts of life, I guess. I don't know how else to say that. I had a couple people watch that video, and they all gave me good props on this. Nobody has told me any bad news about this about that video I made. Everybody liked the information I gave. People were surprised that you can't recertify a jab, like I said in that video. One person was surprised about the distance on the 16 meter Four Throws balance. Now I'm going to end up making videos about those, explaining more in detail about stuff like that. I'm going to take those Four Throws jabs. I'm going to weigh them, attempt to rebalance them. We're also going to throw them with the current cord, and then with my cord. Now I think there's going to be a rebuild in there where, sorry, my wife is gone. In the shed, finishing my video. Be right in. Sorry, I just had a spur of the moment video. Anyway, I gotta finish this up. I'm gonna probably rebuild those completely because if I remember correctly, I made a deal with 4 Throws that we would resell them and then split the money in some way, shape, or form. I think that they were gonna pay me for the rebuild and sell it, or we'll have to have that conversation again. But I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna tell you all about that jab from tip to tail. We're gonna go through it together on this one video and figure it out. If I can make it better, I want to make it better. If I can't, and that's just the way it's built, then that's the way the factory built it. I can't help anything else. So to finish this up, I want to go into the cameras over here because I have you a long ways. You have my formal apology for calling the javelin a wet noodle. It was never meant to be a wet noodle description. Like earlier I described and explained where that came from for me. It just didn't fly for me. I'm sorry. I should have never called it a wet noodle. That was a bad description. That being said, I can't help my opinion. So you have my apologies for calling it a wet noodle. I hope my description in this video was better and that I'm not calling it a crap jab. I'm not putting you down in any way, shape, or form. You have done a lot of things for this business, and I respect you for it. And you and I have had a conversation relating on a video like this when I was talking about quality of jab and how things go and prices and cheap, not cheap, all that sort of thing. You and I had a brief conversation about that. I'm sorry that the description was wrong and things went awry. Not my intention in any way, shape, or form. So, again, formal apology here online, here on the internet for everybody to see. I can't do anything better because I don't have your phone number. So, I apologize. You helped design a great jab. It doesn't fly well for everybody, but neither does everybody. Neither does all the jabs in the world. So that's just the way it is. Again, my apologies. So everybody, have a great Memorial Day. Today is Labor Day. Have a great Labor Day. Stay safe. Throw far. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other.